2012 onwards, you have the uh, from 2012 onwards you have the CAS site, right? Earlier we used to
Yes.
have central site, which is
Central
nothing
site.
but top level primary site. Primary site can have another child site as secondary, right?
Yes.
Secondary sites are end. Okay, this
Yes.
nothing will be
Yeah.
there. Okay, so you can have
Yes.
if you want multiple DPs, but you can't have another site type. Okay,
Another site. Yeah. Yeah.
and CAS can report like this, a primary and primary to a secondary, but a secondary cannot directly report to CAS because this is not supported, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
CAS is free in terms of license. Okay,
Yes.
primary needs to be paid license,
But
secondary
yeah,
is free.
it's free.
Okay,
Yeah.
and primary requires a dedicated SQL server. Okay,
Yeah.
secondary requires normal Express Edition kind of SQL required. Okay, a primary
Okay.
server can support up to 500,000, that is 5 lakh machines. Okay,
Yeah.
and a secondary can support based on the like if you enable here the only distribution part, it can give you up to 4,000 client machines. Okay,
Okay.
and the capacity of the SCCM server purely depends on how many sorry, what kind of SQL server you are using.
Just give me.
Okay, so we did install the SQL. So what are the things we installed? We installed IS, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And remote differential protocol,
Yes.
compression, RDC.
Mm-hmm.
And then we also installed SQL. Okay, SQL
Yes.
2014, right?
12.
2012.
2012. 2012.
2012, then SP3, and that cumulative update to what is the level we applied?
Level 3, I think so.
Yeah, CU3,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
these are the SQL requirements what we have applied for this season 2012 R2. And apart from that, uh, in the SQL, what we have taken is database as well as the reporting services,
Reporting service. Yeah.
right? IAS and RTC, and we also taken bits if required. Okay, and that's it, pretty much for the requirement side. Post to that, what we've done is we install a site as CAS or Pivot1, whatever the
Yes.
site name, and then we give the meaningful description. Okay,
Yes. Yes.
and post to that, SSM got installed. Okay, so once the SSM is installed, we did talk about few of the vocabulary. Okay, so which would
Yes.
help us to build or give the more knowledge. Okay, or this is the console. Okay, WSUs also we installed, if you remember, as one of the
Yeah.
pre-requirement.
Yes. Yes.
So you have an see, for example, if your SQL server is not started, okay, you get this kind of error. Okay, it says
Okay.
the
Okay.
configuration manager cannot connect to the CAS or whatever the site name what we have given. Okay, the account
Okay.
user account that the configuration has sufficient permission to read and write. Okay, it says that do you have the read and write permissions properly or not? So let's see, on that day what we install. Who am I? So I logged in as local admin,
Okay.
not the Tata. So definitely local admin does not have the permissions. So just log off and log in as a proper account. It should be Tata actually. It should be logging now with Tata. Okay. See, last time we closed like this. So the same console is open now, right?
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So I did not actually open SCCM server later point. So if you look at here, so we talked about what is collections. Also, we talked about collections have the a group of objects to show you in one place, right? We still continue with the vocabulary. Then we jump
Okay.
into the um, remaining class. Okay,
Okay.
so there is another words called devices. A device means it can be a computer or it can be a
Mm-hmm.
mobile device.
Okay.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and or computer device. Mm. So there are one of the feature we talked about metering. Metering is like measuring of the softwares who
Application
used, who
usage.
not
Yeah.
used, right?
Yes.
Okay, and I'll take it as separate that. Okay, I think that's enough. Maybe what we'll do is we'll jump into the uh, we'll jump into the configuration side. Okay,
Okay.
how do you configure a CCM server, and then we would you know uh, configure that server, and then we try to install the agent and do the normal
Okay.
functions. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, the first thing is you should be very clear that you install a CCM server in a location called Hyderabad example on a
Mm-hmm.
server, right?
Okay.
So you should be careful that here, whatever here you have this location, this has a boundary, right? So that
Yes.
means
Yes.
you may have office some other location. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so these location guys shouldn't, you know I mean, these machines shouldn't, come and talk with a system server. If it is talking,
Okay.
okay, you should be able to protect your system server not to serve for that other location, because in that
Okay.
location you may also have another system server to locally
Okay.
serve, because this is over the WAN, right?
Yes.
So it should be
Yes.
locally a system server is available. Why you want to connect this machine instead of going here locally? Why you want to allow here to connect, right?
Yes.
So there's something called protect. So what way you can protect it? So if you look at the blue line, so what you can do is you can configure your boundaries. So this is called boundary. A boundary can be IP range. Okay, say example,
Okay.
in these machines, okay, these
Mm-hmm.
machines maybe belongs to say example IP range of 10.0.0.0.0.12 maybe till 255.255
Okay.
example, or is subnet. I did explain what is subnet even, right?
Yes. Yes.
So
Yes.
there could be a subnet ID. Okay, so or say example active directory. So you may have think about practically. So this location would also have a domain controller. So this domain controller, inside this domain controller we would configure actually uh, I mean we means AD guys would configure like this. Give me a second. If I go here, if I open active directory sites and services, okay,
Mm-hmm.
so they might have all these subnets, right? All these sites.
Yes.
Out of that, there
Yes.
could be a possible location called Hyderabad is our site, and they might be our server. Nothing. Okay, where do we have site? Yeah, this is Netherlands, right? I'm in Netherlands. So I have a server here, and if I go properties, I should have here subnets. So subnets are empty. So it should be configured by your AD guys, right? So AD guy would contact the network team and he would fetch
Mm-hmm.
the information like how. Say example, he'll say what is the IP config. Say example, okay, uh, this is the subnet, right? I talked about subnet. Subnet is this,
Yes. Yes.
right? So this subnet is 172.16.0.0 forward slash uh, 1 2. That means 8 into 2, 16, right? So let's
Yeah.
configure 192.168.0.0/16. Okay, in Netherlands. Okay,
Okay.
so now this is how they configure. Actually, I did show you, you don't do it, but they would check this. So what I'll do is I would configure my SCCM server to use a boundary as boundary as this. That
Okay.
means here I have a domain controller. Whatever the domain controller is serving, okay, for the machines, okay, the same
Mm-hmm.
machines should work SCCM. Clear?
Okay. Yeah. Clear.
This is first step. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now the bond. Think about this. You have huge uh, choose location, say example, maybe 30 40,000 of machines. Okay, so one
Okay.
SSM server may not properly work in this kind of an environment. So what we do is we would configure a distribution point here, another DP. Okay, so that means two distribution points we configure in the same location, but you know the location is same. Okay, so in that case what we do
Yeah.
is, so first we create the boundary. Okay, and we
Yep.
group them.
Mm-hmm.
So this is called boundary groups. Okay,
Okay.
so
Okay.
there are two steps which we need to perform, so we are gonna do now. Okay, so go to the
Okay.
administrator. Okay, hierarchy configuration. These are the first 5 minutes configuration. Okay, these are the first
Okay.
5 minutes configuration. If you're able to do it, if you understand what we are trying to do, okay, any configuration you can do it in 5 minutes job.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna do here boundaries. I'll say create a new boundary. Now I have options here to choose. Okay, here if you see here IP subnet. If so, I can give that
Yeah.
IP address like
IP address.
172.16.0.0 or here 255
Yeah.
255 right 00, so
Mm-hmm.
that
Zero
I
zero.
would get it here 172.16.0.0, and I can give a meaningful description, right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's see if I give a meaningful description is maybe Hyderabad. So this is Netherlands, right? So NL site. Okay, if I give here 172.16.0, okay, dot 0, okay, 255.255.0.0. So it has taken a similar way, right? So if I
Yes.
if I browse IP range, say example, my machines are 172.16.0.1, it starts 172.16.0.255.
Two.
This
Okay.
also works, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Or
Mm-hmm.
if I choose Active Directory site, so browse, it automatically comes. If you're installing AD, okay, you're getting all the
Okay.
sites. If you see here, all the
Yes.
sites you're able
Yes.
to see in real time in the production. Also, you would get all this. So you should be sure that what site this should be. So I can choose as NL, okay,
Mm-hmm.
and then
Mm-hmm.
apply OK. Since it's the first time, I can't go for the boundary group, but later point I would go here and create a boundary, and later point I can add, or as a first step I create here boundary group and then I create a boundaries. Either way
Boundaries.
it works.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Yeah.
if you go here and see, there is an add button. Okay, there's nothing is there because we have not created anything here in this.
Okay.
Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
either way it works.
Okay.
Okay, create a boundary group. Okay, so I'm giving NL. Okay, so now I'll
Okay.
simply add the boundaries. This is NL boundary. Now I'll say that my SCCM server should assign a site code so that my clients can communicate, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
and the site name is CAS. Okay,
Correct.
and the server is the local server. Here in production you may have more than one because it's a group.
Okay. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Okay, now if I see here, I'm able to see very clearly that count increased, and if I go to my boundaries, okay, I have a group count also one, right? If I properties, now I have site name,
Sorry.
I have groups, right?
Yes.
So next thing is, now we talked about a boundary, but what are the things inside? I want to know. Definitely, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how many of Windows 7 are there? How many of Windows 10 is there? How many 2012 is there? Okay? How many objects you have? How many users you have? We want to know. So what you'll do, you have to, the second step would be discover, right? So you need to discover what is there inside within your boundary, right?
Yes.
So this discovery, if you remember, we talked about users, we talked about computers, we talked about OUs, right? So there could be a different type of objects, right, altogether. So
Mm-hmm.
we do have here under discoveries, okay, different methods. Okay, so the first one would be the user discovery. Say example, I wanna create here 1,000 users. Okay, give me a second. Say example, if I create maybe think that I have some users. Okay, say example, I have if you look at my AD, documents. Huh? Actually, this one should work. Give me a second. Let's see, the code should work. Inval character, line 1, what is that? Okay, whatever it is, I think, the characters are not pasting properly.
Okay.
Uh, leave it, this one. What I'll do is I'll show you another way. We're
Okay.
talking about the users anyway. See, example, you have multiple users um, in your Active Directory, right? So if you search normally, now how many users you have? Just the users um, here. Fine now. So you have 52 different objects, right? You want to discover all of
Yes.
these things, right? For sure.
Mm-hmm.
So to
Yes.
do that, what you will be doing is you'll be going to the Active Directory users, enable this,
Mm-hmm.
okay?
Okay.
Take this checkbox, browse, okay? Take the data. So in your production case, you may be, just limiting for India, maybe, okay? Something like
Okay.
that. We never know, okay?
Okay.
So you should know where you install, and based on that you should be choosing it. So I select these users, and if you look at here polling schedule, what it's going to do is every 7 days, so that full run would happen. That means all the objects once again run. So in this case it was 52, so 52 of them would automatically run, okay? And
Okay.
after that, every 5 minutes, if any new user created, okay, that also gets
Okay.
discovered, okay? So
Okay.
this is called delta. Got it?
Okay.
Okay, so if I apply, what would happen is it is asking to run as soon as possible. If you look at if I say yes, okay, what happens is it would automatically discovers, and the same resources would come under these count. If you see here, the count is completely zero, right? So
Yes.
this count would change. Okay, so to change I need to update the membership. Okay,
Okay.
so I'll just say update the membership. Okay, so now in a minute or so it would actually change the users. Okay, similar thing I have to do it for other discovery methods. Okay, we'll leave this
Okay.
and let it run. Okay, this takes for the first time, so it takes some time. Okay, maybe 1 or 2 minutes. So in meantime,
Okay.
if I see in the discovery, we talked about user discovery, we are looking for the system discovery. How many of the computers you have? Say if you go to the Active Directory, by the way, if I choose as the computer, you have
Okay.
just the three computers, right? So
Yes.
these three computers should be discovered. If you locate, my server is, my client machine is in turned off state. See, this
Yes.
is turned off state. Still I can discover, okay, because it's purely depending on AD, right?
Yes. Yes.
So let's go, okay, enable, okay, same thing
Okay.
here. You would be choosing this, and then discover objects within the AD groups. Click OK, and polling schedule, that is the same. Apply, yes, as soon as possible. Okay, now by doing this you would get it under assets and compliances. Okay, now if
Okay.
you see here it has refreshed to 3.3, right?
3. Yes.
Now I'm talking about the computers. So computers comes under here, users comes in this collection. Got it,
Okay.
the difference? So now
Mm-hmm. Yes.
uh, device collections, if you look at here, three systems got already discovered, but these three are not the actual three. Okay, I'll show you why. Okay, if you double click, there are two machines with the unknown. Okay, so I'll talk on this, what is this unknown. These are not the machines. Okay, x64 unknown or x86 unknown is not the um, default machines. These are not from your inventory, right?
Yes.
So you did actually uh, discovered these machines. Where was that? These three should be there, right? But instead of that, only SCCM server, only one showing, right? Other two, that is domain controller and the client is not showing. The reason is we have not updated the membership. Okay, what
Okay.
is happening, when you're trying to update? If you look at the membership, okay, go to the properties, every 7 days it gets updated automatically, membership rules. So there's something called use no so this happens occurs every 1 day at 4 a.m. That means tomorrow 4 a.m. it will show the two computers. You're getting
Okay.
me? So
Okay. Yeah.
I should wait till the time, or if I want to force as an admin, I can simply select that collection and say update
Update
membership,
membership.
so that only one collection gets updated. Okay, so
Okay.
if you see this busy button, okay, this busy button, okay, after some time it will go, or the color would change. So once that, you can do the refresh. So there's a difference
Okay.
between refresh and update. Update is the membership will update. Refresh is
Okay.
the only console view will change.
Okay.
Okay, so you should be choosing the first step update, then refresh. So
And
in
then,
this case the
yes.
count is fine now, increased, right?
Okay.
So let's go here and see, you have three machines, right?
Yes.
So that's done.
Okay.
Okay, now you talk about the groups. Okay, so AD groups can be discover from here. So I'll this is a little bit different. Location and choose
Good.
here the AD. This is my AD. Okay, so you can discover based on these membership, other additional membership rules. Otherwise simply okay. So this would also pull your AD group membership. Okay, apart from this, you have forest discovery, which is new with the 2012. Okay,
Okay.
so forest discovery, what it does is, earlier we created the boundaries, right, and the groups, right?
Yes.
So we never know what kind of boundaries we have, okay, in a forest,
Okay.
right? A
Okay.
forest is very wider one, right? If you want
Yes.
automatically, things should automatically created for you, okay, these boundaries, you can run this.
Okay.
Okay, so if I enable this, automatically it creates for me AD sites, boundaries, or a dynamic IP address ranges, if I enable this. Okay, but people don't go for this. Okay, after I run this, if you look at here, automatically we have only one, but it would update later point, remaining all the boundaries also, because we run the forest discovery.
Okay.
Okay, now the pending one is the network discovery. Say example, your SCCM server is not in a domain, and we are talking about work group management, which is not, we don't do it, but in case few companies are rare, I would say point one percentage maybe, if they have work group clients, then you can enable these network discovery and give your subnets and the domain names, all these things, and then discover. So this is useful for work group machines. Okay, and there's
Okay.
something called heartbeat discovery. So heartbeat discovery will make sure that whatever the machines are discovered, are they're alive. Say example,
Okay.
I have discovered a machine in Hyper-V, right? But the machine was now discovered after 90 days also, it is not coming up. Then it reads that this machine never sent any heartbeat to SCCM server. So let's think that this is inactive. Okay, once it marks as inactive, it wait for maybe 30 days time for delete.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
so that's this is, you shouldn't be disable this. Okay,
Okay.
this is mandatory, and you don't configure, even automatically it would be done, and it is recommended to go for 7 days.
Okay. For
Okay,
for
you see here, after I run the forest discovery, it has created for me all these things, right?
okay. Yeah. It's location.
Okay, say example, if I want this to be since the boundary has been automatically created, I can simply add here the boundary group. Say example, yeah, NL group should be there, so that it would automatically assign that. Okay,
Okay.
clear?
Yeah. Clear.
బాస్ నేను చాలా ఎఫర్ట్స్ తీసుకొని చెప్తున్నాను, అర్థం చేసుకుంటున్నారా?
No, yeah, it's just అర్థమవుతుంది.
ఇంత నీట్గా నీకు చెప్పేవాళ్ళు ఉండరు.
అర్థమవుతుంది అంటున్నాను.
Okay. So now we have done the boundaries. We also discovered. Now what to be done next step? You have to install client, right?
Yes.
But to install client, what you need? You need a server roles to be configured. Okay. Luckily, from 2012 onwards, by default, the basic roles would automatically configured for you. Okay. So let's have a look on it. What are the roles required? So roles. Okay. If you look at your roles, okay, here you have
Components.
management point.
Distribution.
This is there. Distribution point is there. These two are enough for us, right? So
Yeah.
since we have these, what to be done is next, client should be installed. Client installation is there is a biggest course on this. Okay, so client can be installed many ways. Okay,
Okay.
so this is called deployment methods. What?
Deployment methods.
So example, SCCM client deploy uh, de deployment methods. Okay, you have uh, these are all the possible options. Okay, one second. So you have all these okay, one second. Planning for client deployment methods. Introduction. The how to was there. Yeah, these are all the methods. Okay, you see here, you have the first option is client push, which is nothing but this is your boundary. All the machines. Okay, this is your SCCM server. Once the machines are discovered, okay, machine is discovered, so automatically it will push the client software. Okay,
Okay.
so client gets installed. This is called client push. Other
Client
method
push.
is
Okay.
software update point based. That means you set some group policy, okay, and
Okay.
you manually redirect to SCCM server for client to be installed. Okay, this is most successful one, right? Because the
Okay.
group policy also there, right?
Group policy.
And the next method would be direct group policy. Okay, say
Okay.
like I did show you like software distribution, right? From the group policy, the same method they use it. Okay, other one
Okay.
would be the logon script. So with the group policy, they have a logon script. You can simply execute whatever the file to be executed, so that the client gets installed. Okay,
Okay.
other one would be the manual. Okay, which is maybe interesting, or this is the first step to learn. Okay, then
Okay.
later you can go for this.
Good.
Okay,
Okay.
and other option would be the upgrading. Okay, if you have older version, okay, you can still upgrade.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
clear? So these are
Yeah.
the
Clear.
possible options. Okay, other one would be the imaging. Okay, imaging means you are deploying operating system, so client should already there in that machine, right? So you are installing Windows OS, okay, client OS, so definitely there should be agent, otherwise there is
Yes.
no use, right? Okay, these are upgradation RN or nothing, automatically it gets upgraded. Later point I'll show you.
Okay.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
now what I'll do is, which one is the best way for is first
A
manual,
manual
right?
installation.
Manual. Okay, we do the manual install. Okay,
Okay.
and then we go for automatic deployment. Let's go to the domain controller, and or just go to the SCCM server and
Okay.
see here what are the things are there. So it clearly says that client is no, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, client is nothing here. So what we need is we need to configure. Okay, one second. Mm, this is not going up. Oh, okay. Sorry. This, yeah. So we need to let me update the collections. Okay. So go here,
Okay.
all of them update so that I'll get what exactly count. Refresh count. Uh, so after that I can do this simply refresh.
Okay.
Missions game. Now so whatever we talked, okay, the logs I should be showing you. So the logs would be normally stores a system server install and program files, configuration manager under this logs. So these are the server logs. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
this is the server log. If you remember, we did for a discovery. So the discovery name is what we have done AD, right? Okay, and then we did sys, that is system discovery. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
the action what we have done is discovery. So that is nothing but AD system discovery,
It is.
AD user
Okay.
discovery, okay, AD security group discovery, right?
Okay.
And also AD forest discovery. If I open up the forest discovery, you would easily notice that, hey, you have these subnets, okay, which are found.
Okay.
Okay, this is found, okay, already there. Okay, and the remaining things are, it found four of them, right?
Okay.
So if
Yes.
I close this and open up AD system discovery, it should show me there are three objects got discovered, right? Zero objects, because this is a 5 minutes, every 5 minutes action. Prior to that, uh, prior to that, whatever, see, these are all, or it was processed, right?
Okay. Yes.
These are the things it has processed, and it found that this computer name, okay, and post to the DS, okay, domain controller, there is another machine now. So within these it has found finally three objects, right? Okay,
Okay.
so from here to here there would be a 5 minutes gap, okay, because that's the schedule what we have configured. 40 was completed, okay. After 40 there is a 45 is there. So that's a delta is ran. So in the delta there is nothing found, so it says zero. Got it?
Okay. Yeah.
So these are the log files, okay.
Okay.
Now let's
Sure.
have a look on it. My uh, also, let me show you where is the client software would be there. So client software would be there under CCM setup. Okay, what is this? No. Okay, go to the program files, go to the configuration manager, client folder. Okay, so here these all are the binaries which are almost 180 plus MB, if I'm correct. So if I go properties, okay, so 183 MB, okay, on disk 192. Okay, so these all are required, but you think it is not required all of them. If you have one file, this is the file, okay. This is called, what is the name? Can you read it?
CCM setup. CCM setup.
Yeah, ccmsetup.exe. Okay, so ccmsetup.exe would download automatically all these files.
Okay.
Okay, so you just need one file. Okay,
Okay.
and you also need the command line. Okay, since you're MSI guy, I can say that there is no GUI based installation. This is purely command line.
Okay.
Okay,
Mm.
so what I'm gonna do is now I'll simply copy that, the exe file, and I'll go to my domain controller. I'll copy somewhere, maybe say example in my documents. Okay, and I'll
Okay.
just open up my command prompt with admin rights. Okay, I can simply go for systemsetup.exe and then specify, there is a command line, you can go for a documentation. Okay, I'll show you the
Okay.
documentation. Okay, uh,
Switches.
uh, Yeah, client installation property is the right word, right? So you have all these options, like if you want more information slash question mark, as okay,
Yeah.
then you need to specify like this. For MP, where is the MP? Okay. You want to uninstall, simply use uninstall. Log on, force reboot, no service. All these are the options you have. Okay. Out of
Okay.
my curious, what I can say is, since we have already active directory is there, simply you can enter only the exe. That also works, or SMS site code equivalent cas. That's a
Yes.
code name, right? Simply
Yes.
give that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we
Okay.
are specifying, hey, you go and install a SCCM server. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You go and install a SCCM server, and don't use as a site code as cas. We're forcing. Okay.
Okay.
So what is the
Okay.
cas? We did, while installation, we did gave the installation of the site code as cas. You remember here,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So installation, during the installation, we gave as a site code as cas, right?
Yeah.
So I'll hit it. So what would happen is, if I hit here, okay, the installation starts, but nothing will be visible to us. So in the background, what would happen is, actually this file is located in where? C colon users administration documents. From here to it copies to C colon, okay, Windows CCM setup. Okay, it copies the same file, and then from there it gets installation will start.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So to
Mm-hmm.
see the log file, okay, to see the log file, you need to have the trace32, right? So I would go to the tools, okay, and get that my trace32. I can, in fact, I can see from here, right? See, I can simply go to the my inhyd, okay, uh, data hyphen tc01, okay, and I can go to the C dollar, okay,
Okay.
as I said, Windows, okay. You have system set a folder now, okay.
Yeah.
This is a folder, and inside this you have, double click, see, all the files got automatically downloaded now, right? These are the
Okay.
files
Yeah.
coming from where?
Oh, from
These,
gas.
right?
Okay, sir. Clear. Yes.
Hello.
Yeah. Yeah.
ఏమి
Hello.
వినబడతలేదబ్బా, నేను ఒక్కనే మాట్లాడుకున్నట్టుంది, నాకు అసలు చిరాకు లేసేది అప్పుడప్పుడు.
అది
See?
ఇప్పుడు వినబడుతుందండి.
ఇప్పుడు వినబడుతుందండి. So this is where the logs will be there, okay?
Okay.
System setup. So if I open up this, so the first line, see, it's actually installing, but if you look at the first line, what we have done, launching from this directory, okay, with this command line, okay, what it has done is, it has downloaded this file to, okay, C colon Windows system setup, right? So I said, this folder it has copied. Post to that, it has started all the installation parameters, okay, and it's still
Okay.
continuing. In between, I don't see, example, there is the few files are missing. Say example, uh, it has automatically discover what is your management point. And also you see here, 002 is nothing but a package called SCCM client package, which is on SCCM server. Okay, you see here 002, okay, under software there are packages, okay. Every package will have a package ID, okay, and this is
Okay.
a client configuration manager update
Okay.
package. So this is package ID. So this package ID, it has connected, okay, automatically, technically,
Okay.
okay, and it is try to download it. So that package is that package ID is mapped to this client folder, okay. So
Okay.
from here it is trying to download all the files. If you see here, uh, x64 folder, it has downloaded the firewall policies, and from here client.msi, like this, everything got downloaded, and it found that there is no Silverlight, okay, there is no SEP is not there, so it has installed all these things, okay. You see here,
Okay.
even VC++, okay. బస్
Yes.
ఇలాగే ఉండొచ్చు కదా, మీ వాయిస్ కూడా ఇలాగే ఉంటే కొంచెం ఈజీ అవుతుంది బస్.
ఓకే. ఓకే. నేను అది హెడ్సెట్ తీసేసాను.
Okay, so this is how you would run it. Okay, and at the end it has given us the written code as 0. I did already shown you how to look for error codes, right? So 0 means successfully completed the operation, right?
Okay.
So
Okay.
client
Yeah.
has installed successfully. So
Mhm.
once the client is installed, where do you get it? You don't get it on a start button, anything, okay, much, but you can see either software center or go to the control
Okay.
panel. Okay,
Yeah.
if you go to the control
Mhm.
panel on the domain controller, that's where we installed. Okay,
Okay.
so in the control panel, okay, under security or simply view to the local one. So here configuration manager was there. Okay, you see
Okay.
here now the tabs, you try to notice the tabs were not much. Okay, the tabs are
Okay.
not much. Spacing you can look it, and it says that these all are the components installed. What happened? All these are installed, but nothing got enabled. Say example out of band, it is installed. Okay, power management, remote control. So all the features, each feature has treated as a role. Okay, but all these are installed but not enabled. Okay,
Enabled.
when you
Okay.
enabled, okay, when you got as status as enabled, that specific action is able to work. The reason why
Okay.
it is not enabled, at least one, because here you don't have any actions. You see, there's no actions. Okay, client is still communicating with the SCCM server. Okay, I mean to say client is still communicating with the server. I mean to say agent is installed. It doesn't mean that it is working fine. Okay, it is
Okay.
trying to communicate still with SCCM server, and SCCM
Mhm.
server has to approve. This client
Okay.
has to be approved by SCCM server. Okay, it is an
Okay.
automated process. The client has to register to SCCM server in the background.
Okay.
So it is taking some time. Give me a second. I don't want to close this because if I close, the changes would happen automatically. See
Okay.
here, cache is a site code came, okay,
Uh-huh.
and
Uh-huh.
cache is a folder, okay, where, for example, you are installing Office. So what happens is it will download that folder to C colon Windows CCM cache folder. Okay, CCM cache folder, it gets
Okay.
downloaded. Later point from there it gets installed. Okay, for that there's a cache. So the reserved space, say example 5 GB, it will reserve for downloading the client softwares. Okay, and these are the network, you can remove it. um I know you don't need to do it. If I close this, okay, again, if you see here, it is trying to contact with this management point
Mhm.
is right, site code is right, currently assigned, currently it is intranet, that means LAN. Okay, if you see here, GUID is there. This GUID is nothing but, okay, nothing but a identity, a unique ID for this client. Okay,
Okay.
so client
Okay.
would communicate based on this ID. Okay, server would
Okay.
start looking the records by tracking with this GeoID. Okay,
Okay.
let's close this. If I try to open, okay, again, most probably the changes happen, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's all good.
So the reason is what happened in the background. I'll show you. Let me go to the server and open the logs. So
Okay.
I'm opening the logs from the server, from the SCCM client. Okay. So once a client is installed, it gets installed to CCM folder. As I said, it gets
Okay.
installed into CCM folder
CCM.
where C, this is on a domain controller, C colon Windows, CCM folder got installed. So where is the client installed? Not to the program files, to the CCM folder. Okay. So under this, there are logs. These are the logs we would monitor on a client end. So if you look at the client end, the first log would be the, okay, here, uh, client ID manager is the first log, I would say. Okay, this is the key log. It actually it actually if you go up, this is where the client is installed, and so client service is started. And now once the service is started, it is try to check for the some kind of self-signed certificate. Okay, post to that. Okay, post to that, it has tried to communicate with a GUID. Okay, which we talked about, the GUID. Okay, and
Yeah.
then client is not yet registered with SCCM server with this GUID. I talked about the GUID earlier, right? So this is a GUID. If you go and see on this client machine, this is a GUID. It waited for 60 seconds and it got approval. Okay, okay,
Okay.
in these lines. Okay, and then actually all other activities started. That is, all other components started. Okay,
Okay.
all these logs got started after that. Okay, so if you see in other way, so this is a 3292. If you see, previous GUID is the same one. Okay, so once this GUID is approved, all these components earlier was in install state, so now it was enabled state. So if you see here, now SCCM server can report you OBT or software distribution, inventory, metering, software updates. All these are now ready to serve. Say example, from SCCM server you push some software, it gets delivered. Okay, because
Okay.
all these are enabled state. So what does it mean by installed? Installed means the software's got installed, but you have not enabled the functionality on the server. So the server was not configured to enable, to work, or to report these things. Say example, power management. Okay, I can take as example. Say example, your office is 9 to 6, post maybe 7 to between morning 7, the machine should go for sleep so that you save the power, right? So we did not talk
Yeah.
about this feature, right? So this is one of the feature, right, with the power management. So these can be achieved when you enable that setting. Okay,
Okay.
okay, so we have not enabled that, we have not done anything. Okay, post to that, we will be doing that. Clear?
Okay.
And if you look at the
Yeah.
actions, if you look at the
Mhm.
actions, you have lot. Earlier there were
Yeah.
only one is a user evolution and machine policy. Now you
Yeah.
have many things. So, say example, I want hardware inventory to be done now as an on demand. What you will do is, as an end user, you can simply click this hardware inventory and initiate. So the agent would start reporting the inventory. That means this machine, my DC, okay, whatever the hardware is there, that would start reporting to my SCCM server.
Same. Yeah.
Okay, say
Okay.
example,
Uh-huh.
you push some software, it is not coming to this client. What you can do, you can pull the policy from management point on immediate
Okay.
basis, that the targets would come.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay. Yeah.
clear? And
Yeah.
this is where the site code. Okay,
Yeah. Mhm.
and cache. Okay, this is the 5 GB which was there, right?
Yes.
Okay, if you open up the cache location, in fact, if you see here, it is showing that CCM Windows cache, right? C column
Yes.
Windows CCM cache is the cache location.
Okay.
Okay, now let's
Okay.
go back to the CCM server.
Mhm.
Okay, and see once a client is installed manually, what happened? You see here, still the client is no. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Now
One
the
became.
the DC got yes. Sometimes it will
Mhm.
show as no. So what you have to
Okay.
do?
Okay.
You have to update the,
Uh, Update membership, right?
yeah, to update the
Okay.
membership. You're getting me
Okay.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm getting.
Clear, right? The
Yeah. I'm getting.
content.
Yes.
So we did install client automatically. Now I have another machine which I'm gonna start. That is this machine, right? Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Mhm.
Now this machine should automatically install the client. What I have to do? Okay. So if I see my all systems, I have only one machine as client is installed. I want
Yeah.
this PC and even SCCM
Uh-huh.
server should automatically install the client. Okay, without
Okay.
touching. So what I'll do is
Okay.
I'll go to the administration. Okay,
Uh-huh.
I'll
Okay.
select my site. Okay,
Okay.
this is where the Cas said, right? So I go to my settings, components, here, sorry, the client installation. So I have here, I did talk about, different methods, right? Client push,
Yes.
software update based, client installation. So we are going to do now the first one, client push installation. Okay.
Okay.
So let's click on client push installation. So
Mm-hmm.
to install client automatically, okay, what you need to do is you need to have uh, an account, because you look at this scenario, you have a
Okay.
system server here,
Okay.
okay, and
Mm-hmm.
this is your boundary, so you have
Okay.
multiple machines, right.
Okay.
So to
Mm-hmm.
install from here to here, how you have to install on this machine, target machine, you need a permission to execute
Yes.
something,
Yes.
right? We're
Yes.
talking about domain controllers or maybe another person's machine, right? So you need
Mm-hmm.
to have an account, okay, the account which would copy remotely. What file to be copied?
Okay.
ccm setup.exe, right?
Okay.
So once
Uh-huh.
it copied the file, it should what should happen? It should trigger. That means the service should, or it should execute this ccm setup.exe file. So to execute with what is the account you are gonna use? Okay, so you
Okay.
need a admin privileges on all these machines.
Okay.
That means on all these target machines you need the local admin permissions, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
definitely you can use a admin account or a account that has the local admin rights. Clear?
Yeah.
So
Okay.
so what I'll do is first go to the accounts tab. This is where I configure my account. So in my case, new account, so I
Mm-hmm.
can say I have administrator, which has full permissions. I can choose
Okay.
this, and the password, whatever the password I have. Okay, and I
Okay.
should be able to verify by providing some network share. Say, mm, I don't know. Let's see, INHYD, uh, Tata DC. So test connection. So it is actually coming automatically. So let's see. Connection is verified. Net login is common. I shouldn't be using net logon. I should be, sharing some folder and then, test it. I'm sure, I typed the right password. If not, I'll
Okay.
retype it. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. You simply have to, have a share folder and then get it
Mm-hmm.
verified. Yeah. So, okay. And apply. So now I have an account, okay, which has everywhere the local admin rights. I mean to
Okay.
say, if I go to my Hyper-V and my machine, this is just a 512 MB. Okay, if I log in, Tata local admin,
Uh-huh.
okay. So in this machine, if I go to the my manage under groups administrators, there is a group called domain admin. So I'm part of the domain admins. That's why I'm able to do it. Okay. So
Okay. Yeah.
this group is already inherited. So that's good sign for us to push the agent remotely. So let me go back to the SCCM server. I say administrator, I have all the permissions. So in case if it is failed, you report to SCCM server. So to do that, you have an options under client installation properties. Okay, if you remember, FSP is another role. Okay, we are concentrating on the roles. Okay, let me go back to my SCCM server. Okay, let's
Okay.
cancel this. Okay, you go to the
Mm-hmm.
roles here. So we have not enabled any of the roles, right? Let's enable the roles. Okay,
Okay.
right click, add new site role. Okay, now you have
Mm-hmm.
all these roles available. Okay,
Okay.
give me a second. So you have all these roles, right? So post to that, I'm going to add another role. So I have direct internet connectivity. So I have all these roles. So I'm going to choose something called fallback status point. You see this, right?
Yes.
What is this fallback status point? Let me explain. So you have a SCCM server, okay, which is pushing all the client softwares, right? So you
Yes.
have, say, example, 100,000 machines, or maybe
Mm-hmm.
maybe 100 machines. Example, in this example, you are pushing client. Push means what? If I push a ball to you, you catch it, or you may slip the catch, right? It's not
Yes. Yes.
guaranteed that you definitely hold that. Same
Mm-hmm.
thing. If you push the client, okay, it may install, it may not install. So example,
Okay.
if there is a no disk space, do you think the client can install? If you don't have a permissions, do you think that client can install?
No.
uh,
No. No.
these are all not possible, right? So
Yes.
somebody has to report you that, hey, on 100 machines it has failed because low disk space. Hey, on 50
Okay.
machines, okay, because you don't have a
Permission.
permissions,
Okay.
right? So that
Mm-hmm.
job would be done by fallback status point. So let's take
Okay.
that. Okay.
Okay.
So
Mm-hmm.
fallback status point helps to monitor client installation and identify the clients that are unmanaged because they cannot communicate with their management point, right? If they are able to
Okay. Yeah.
communicate with the management point, it
Mm-hmm.
automatically installs the client, right?
Yes.
So now I would simply enable the role. So right, the enabling role fsp setup.log file, which you should be
Mm-hmm.
monitoring now. So go to the logs. If you're concerned about the logs, go to the logs on a server. Okay, okay, fsp, yeah, fsp msa log. So the log is shows that this is already enabled now. Okay, just
Okay.
now, that is
Okay.
36. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
uh, FSP setup got installed. Now what I'll do is um, I'll simply let me clear all these unwanted things, please. Give me a second. So now the server was configured with a role FSP. Let's have a look on it whether we have FSP role or not. So FSP role is installed. So just to get that client while installation, we should
Mm-hmm.
pass a command line. You remember, while we install the client, what is the command line I used? This is the
Uh,
command line, right? So
yes. It's,
post to this, I should use FSP server equivalent, whatever the server name that I should be
okay.
using. Look at this
Okay.
documentation. Okay, it
Okay.
says that
Okay.
fsp equivalent, this is the name. So this name
Server.
I should
Okay.
be choosing. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
so in my case now what I'll do is I'll go to my SCCM server. Okay, I'll
Uh-huh.
go to my SCCM server, to client installation properties, that is this. Okay, here installation properties. Okay,
Okay.
I'll give a space, and simply this is what we have done, right? SMS site code equivalent cas we
Yes.
have given, right?
Mm-hmm.
Post to this ccmsetup.exe space SMS site code cas. Now fsp equivalent, what is the server name? That server name we have to give. So what is the
Okay.
server name here?
Right.
Okay, so this is a server name, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Or if you want, you can give the fqdn also. So I can give my fqdn name. Okay, so
Okay.
this is the name which I'm given. Okay, now this has been done change. Now what I have to do is, now I can enable. So the first requirement would be the account. and installation properties are correct or not. Then, do you want to enable automatic client push? If
Yes.
yes, okay. On do you want to enable automatically push on service? Remember that sometimes you don't manage service. Okay,
Okay.
don't think that
Okay.
you are managing everything. Sometimes you don't manage the service. Okay, in that case you
Okay.
would be uncheck that. Okay, do you
Okay.
want to only install in clients? Yes, that's a
Yes.
workstations. And do you
Okay.
want to also install a client software on SCCM servers? So there could be some of the SCCM servers like PO1, this one. Okay, they may have SO1 and they may have SO2. Do you want to install the agent on these machines also? If so, take this
Okay.
checkbox. So I'm taking that. Okay. Now, how about domain controllers? Okay. So do you want me to install okay on a domain controllers also? If so, choose this.
Okay.
Okay. So this is a test case. No idiot, choose this. No idiot, choose this.
You might
Okay.
okay.
So they always go for manual most of the time.
Okay.
Okay. So but still, okay, if you want to
Mm-hmm.
manage, okay, if you want 100% compliance, 100% the agent installation should be done, the best way would be the client push. Okay,
Okay.
but it is uncontrolled way. Okay, so I'm choosing this apply. Okay, what happens is in the background, actually I may or may not be able to show you, but there's something called ccr.box. Here the files gets copied. Actually some files gets come up here. Okay, for each machine, say example, you found one machine called domain controller, you found some machine called um, Windows 7 machine. So for this machine related information, one dot some random name dot ccr file gets created here. Okay,
Okay.
and
Okay.
based on this file, okay, this file will have your IP address of target machine, management point name, a installation command line including FSP name, system.exe, all those things would be available here. And then based on this, your SCCM server gets push the agent. Okay,
Okay.
so what is the log file you monitor? So you look at here, we talked about CCR, so there should be a log file also named with the ccm.log. Okay, so let's go to the logs. Okay, ccm.log.
Okay.
So it says that, okay, in fact, this is not yet started.
This is
Okay,
offering.
this is not yet started even. Anything, anything not yet pushed. You don't see here, it has pushed actually. If you see here, okay, it has pushed the timestamp 10 8 10 23. It pushed actually. If you look at here, uh, this file, okay, under CCR, the files got created in process with the
Okay.
machine name should come. This is time is different. It is showing. 1 second. The time is 8:20. What's the time? 8:21.
Yes.
Okay. So let's wait for some time that gets automatically pushed. So that's what
Okay.
it doesn't have the control, so it gets installed automatically. So you can't say that it happens just now. Okay, so these
Mm-hmm.
machines automatically gets installed. If you want to manually install, what you would be doing is right click, install client.
Right.
Okay, so
Okay.
here you get an option, install the client. Okay, if you have uninstall, if you want to uninstall, you can uninstall and install
Okay.
to this site. Say next, automatically this gets installed.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
so we'll cancel this. I don't want to do that. Okay, now let's play in meantime with other options. Okay,
Okay.
so what we have learned, client installation methods are there. Okay, client
Mm-hmm.
installation, what is the log file for client installation? Season setup.log file, right?
Yes.
And client folder, right? So these are the things we learned. right? You can review your notes.
Yeah.
See, here you need to, yeah, we did, I think, yeah. So next thing is, okay, let me show you the software distribution. Okay.
Okay.
I think you know already the MSI commands because you are a packager, so I can't talk about that, definitely. Okay.
Okay.
So if you want to install anything, you definitely need what? A MSI commands, right?
Yes.
So think that you have a software, okay, in your location. Now what I'm doing is I'm actually creating a folder here, okay, called softwares.
Okay.
So I'm just going to the console. Okay, now if you want to do the software deployment, you have to go to the software library. Okay,
Okay.
so this software
Okay.
library has many things here. All of that, I'm going to talk about the application management. Okay,
Okay.
application management has applications can be deployed, also
Mm-hmm.
packages can be deployed.
Packages. Okay.
Okay, so the difference, okay,
Okay.
there is a
Yes.
difference between applications and the packages. So this is the old method, okay, which
Okay.
we are going to talk now. Okay, later point we talk about the advanced method. Okay, this
Okay.
is called
Mm-hmm.
applications method. Okay, this
Okay.
is more complex and more useful. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
so the first point is we're gonna learn here.
Packages. Yeah.
So here I can import, or I can say that package from definition. When I say definition, I might have a MSI file already. So I'll just
Okay.
browse. Okay,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
wherever I have the softwares.
Okay.
Oh, the folder name is not proper. Okay, toolkit. Where is my MSI? This is the installation file, right? So
Yes.
this file, when I choose it, it's going to create a package for me, the package name,
Okay.
version,
Uh-huh.
and the language name automatically in the console.
Okay.
Okay, so these are the properties which are given by uh, MSI packager.
Uh-huh.
Okay, as a package name and the version and the language. That's why
Yes.
with that name, it's gonna create under this. Here you have only two now, so you're gonna have one more.
One more.
Okay,
Okay.
so click
Okay.
next. So it says that do you have the source? Yeah, I have a source located in my server. Okay,
Okay.
on
Okay.
my C column softwares
Yes. Toolkits.
toolkit. This is a folder. Okay,
Okay.
click next.
Mm-hmm.
So it gets automatically a software. Now the third
Okay.
one got created with the config mgr 2012 toolkit R2. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
and if you see the programs, okay, what
Uh-huh.
is a program? I'll talk on it. I'm just giving you
Okay.
high level. After that, I'll go to the vocabulary of each one, then it gets
Okay.
easy for you. Okay, so the
Okay.
programs, nothing but your execution commands. Okay, if you look at
Okay.
the, you may be surprising to see that it's already given the MSI commands for you, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So these are the MSI commands. Okay, so now
Mm-hmm.
let's jump into the vocabulary for the programs. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
a package
Okay.
is a application as is in software installation source. Package contains what? A source of the software. Okay.
Software.
So this has the source. Now data source has this. Okay. And
Okay.
package will contain a programs. Okay. So
Okay.
a program is nothing but installation command line. Okay.
Okay. Mhm.
Clear?
Yeah.
So now I created a package and then a program. So if I look at the
Program.
program, I have a multiple options. By executing this, I can also choose that once that has executed, installed, I can say that this should be hidden mode. That means user doesn't see anything. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, this is a
Okay.
queue, so it doesn't see. If I give
Yeah.
QB, you know that what is QB. Okay.
Definitely.
It
Mm-hmm.
would be visible. Example. Okay.
That's
So
mm-hmm.
post installation, I want the user should log off. If I want, I can choose this
Okay.
or restart
Uh-huh.
the computer. Okay.
Okay.
All the possible things I can do it. Okay.
Okay.
And the
Yeah.
requirements. So example, this program should only work on Windows 7 64-bit. I don't want to execute on servers, example. Okay, you can
Yeah.
choose that. To install this software, maybe it takes only 60 minutes time. If it is taking more than 60 minutes, that consider as a failure and exit back.
Exit
Okay,
back. Okay.
and minimum
Okay.
estimated disk space. So example, the software required 500 MB, you choose that,
Mm-hmm.
or GB, choose here.
Okay.
Okay, so these are the
Okay.
options you can configure based on
Mm-hmm.
your experience. Okay,
Okay.
got it. So
Yeah.
uh, I'll talk on another things later. Okay, so
Okay.
now we'll just push it. Okay, normally to our
Okay.
domain controller. Okay, to
Mm-hmm.
push that, if you see here, it is grayed out. Whereas see other one, okay, it is
Target. Okay. Uh-huh.
yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Hey, మీకు ఈవినింగ్ వీలవుతుందా రేపు tomorrow Sunday morning
What's the time? 8 and
మీరు ఏ టైం అంటారు so here so basically what happens is client actually sitting here okay so you created
okay.
an SCCM server some software right so in this case
Yeah.
this is the software name is toolkit so
Mm-hmm.
what we have done is we copy to a folder so we have shown that we also gave the silent execution command line right so now
Yes.
this machine should this machine should actually download this folder. This is a folder, right? This source should gets downloaded to the local machine, okay,
Mm-hmm.
and then
Mm-hmm.
execute this command, okay, based
Okay.
on the schedule what you give,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah.
So to happen this, the first part is to download the source, right? This
Yes.
downloading source is nothing but actually, if you look at this pink, okay, you have this copy should actually whatever the source you are talking about, this source should copy to DP. Okay,
Okay.
what is a DP? DP is a UNC shared folder, right? So my
Yeah.
DP hyphen whatever the source folder, okay. So client will
Okay.
connect to this UNC share folder, okay,
Okay.
and gets
And
downloaded to
download.
CCM cache, okay,
Okay.
and then based
Uh-huh.
on the schedule, say example, the schedule says 9 a.m., okay, 9 a.m.
Okay.
exactly. It uses that command line to execute. Okay,
Okay.
this is the
Yeah.
background. Okay, you clear, right? So
Yeah.
what we have to do is we created now the package, okay, but we have not sent to DP. So now
Yeah.
right click, distribute content, okay,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
okay. Now click
Okay.
on next, okay, add distribution point. Choose this DP,
Okay.
okay,
Okay.
next. So what happens is this gets distributed to the content, okay. So if I
Okay.
click on
Okay.
close and see immediately this is in yellow which is in progress
In progress. Okay.
okay so if I
Okay.
again refresh okay it
Uh-huh.
gets green almost. So it's still going on, it's green. Okay,
Okay.
so what happened is it actually copied back to SCCM server, right? So SCCM server is a
SCCM.
local server. So in the
Uh-huh.
local server, there are few share folders got created like this. Okay, earlier
Okay.
it was not there. Okay, if you see the timestamp,
Okay.
10,
Mm-hmm.
this is this folder, the signature.
I understand.
Okay, all these, this is a 6.1 config mgr toolkit. It is
Uh-huh.
copied here, right?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
this is where actually the client gets connected. So now what I'll do is I'll just go here, okay,
Mm-hmm.
and select this. I want to
Okay.
target. So how do you
Good.
target? So to target that, okay, let me here
Uh-huh.
do a refresh. Okay, so to target, I don't want to target to all the computers. I
Okay.
really don't want, right? Say I want
Yes.
only few of the machines, not every machine. I don't want
Okay.
every machine to get that software. What I have to do?
Mm-hmm. Select the mission.
How? But only select it and then make a group. So grouping
Group.
or
Okay.
the collection is nothing but you would be actually creating a your own requirement based. Say example, I
Okay.
want only one machine that should
Uh-huh.
only get installed. So let's for some reason it is not going to the um, push is not happening. Okay, I
Okay.
think there's something wrong. Okay, push should happen by this time. Okay, so
Okay.
something wrong actually. Client push should work ultimately. Um, Reporting off warning queue exceeded 150 CCR. Okay, we'll look into that later point. Okay, not a worry,
Okay.
no worries. Okay, now let's
Mm-hmm.
have a look on. Uh, now, now the target is you have a CCM source, right, or the
Yes.
toolkit. This toolkit should install to only one machine, which is DC. So
Okay.
I don't have anything that only represents as one machine. If you see here, I have different count here altogether. Say here five machines, two machines, one machine. So this is desktops and client. So that means Windows 7 machine actually that is okay.
Okay.
If I
Uh-huh.
see here, it's a Windows 7. Hey, oh, this is a server also there. Sorry, client and server also there. So this would include desktops also in future, right? So which is too
Okay. Yeah.
dangerous. If I push this software, it also goes to all
We-
the desktops as well as the servers, which I don't want.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
I need my own collections, right? Or I need my own selected machines. So
Okay.
what you would do is you would create a collection. Creating collection is two types. Okay, I'll talk
Okay.
on it. Okay, first
Mm-hmm.
give a meaningful name. Say example,
Okay.
this is uh, toolkit. Okay, software. Okay, so we are
Mm-hmm.
actually install, right? Install one. So we are
Okay.
trying to install it. Okay, so with the 2012 onwards, every collection should be a limit to another collection. Okay, that means if you have 100 machines here, okay,
Okay.
so you are
Uh-huh.
targeting for 100 machines, but
Okay.
in the next wizard, whatever the criteria you are choosing, say example I
Mm-hmm.
want only Windows 7. So out of these
Okay.
100 machines there are only 40 machines of Windows 7. That
Okay.
40 is the limit. Okay, you're not
Okay.
targeting to everything. Got it? You're
Okay.
actually funneling or filtering.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay. Uh-huh.
so I'm
Uh-huh.
saying that in all systems now. Click
Okay.
next. Okay, so now here the actual thing comes. First thing, I don't want to talk about these two. Okay, these
Okay.
are nothing but including and excluding. Say example, I want all servers. You have another collection, you can include that. You have 10 collections,
Okay.
you can include all the 10 collections. You want to exclude some
Okay.
servers, say business critical servers you don't want to include in this test collection, exclude it so that
Mm-hmm.
those machines never be part of this collection. Okay,
Okay.
so we
Okay.
would be doing that. Okay, but you look at here, you have direct query, you have query rule. So what is direct, what is query? These are the two two methods which I'm talking. Collection creation is two method. One is direct rule,
Direct
other one is
and
query
uh,
rule.
Okay.
So direct means you know the computer name. Okay,
Uh-huh.
you know the
Okay.
IP address of that machine.
Yes.
That means that's direct.
Okay.
Okay, very clear. So it's
Uh-huh.
easy that you say that you know the network on make, then that's direct.
Okay.
Okay, so let's have a look on
Mm.
it. Let's try to play with the direct. For example,
Okay.
direct rule. Okay,
Okay.
it is actually, if you see, another window started, right? And the wizard is
Yeah.
create a direct membership rule wizard.
Okay.
So
Okay.
what is the resource name? Okay, here you have all these filters.
Okay. Okay.
So
Okay.
I have a name. Okay, if my computer name has DC, okay, I
Mm.
want to
Mm.
see. So what I'll do, I'll take a amp percentage. If I take amp percentage, it is a star. That
Okay.
means, so there is no DC name. Okay, uh,
Okay.
or if I give as full name, okay,
Mm-hmm.
okay, amp start, I can simply take DC 01. So
Okay.
this machine becomes as the part of my collection. Got
Okay.
it?
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah.
So which is ending with DC 01 I want. So I'll get only
Okay.
one machine now.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or I would say, maybe, my
IP.
logged on user, something like that, or IP address. Okay. For
Okay.
example, IP version, IP addresses. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know IP address. Say, let's say you have all the IP address based on machines are coming up. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Or if you know IP address, you can give there so that it directly comes. If it is a virtual
Okay.
machine, come. Okay. So all of them
Okay.
are virtual machine. So you
Okay.
know direct query. What? This is a direct
Direct.
query. Okay.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Clear?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So give me a second. Okay. So in this is a direct. I don't want to go for direct now. Okay. Now let's
Mm-hmm.
try another one. Query. You know the SQL,
Well.
right?
Yes.
Similar structure, similar. See, query statement already created for you. Select start from this table. You don't know
Okay.
what is this table. Let's talk on the tables later. But
Uh-huh.
systems would be available on r underscore system table. Okay,
Okay.
as
Mm-hmm.
simple as that. Okay, so
Okay.
here I'm giving
Okay.
as a test. Now I can filter out here the query. Say here criteria is my criteria is example. Uh, a simple value, okay, and
Mm-hmm.
my attribute is, say example, baseboard or motherboard. That is, baseboard is nothing but a motherboard, okay, CD-ROM model. Okay, CD-ROM
Okay.
model is, name is, sorry, the name example is the values it will show. So if it is having this CD-ROM, okay,
Okay.
any machines, okay, that means
Okay.
tomorrow you install X machine. If that
Okay.
has this criteria matches, it will be part
It
of
will
that
start.
machine.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Okay.
the query is more powerful. So you create once a query, proper query. Say example,
Okay.
all IE11 machines. Okay,
Okay.
all Office 2016 machines.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so like that you can create a criteria based. Okay, and
Okay.
based on that, the machines gets automatically added to the collection.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, that's the query side. Okay, so
Okay.
this way you can create two collections. One is the collection type is direct, other one is the query based. Okay,
Okay.
so there is another easiest method with the 2012. Okay, let's cancel that. Okay, so I did not created a collection. Okay, so let's create a collection as test. Okay,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I'm choosing my browse. Okay, here all systems is a target.
Okay.
Next, I'm not choosing any type here. Okay, later point
Okay.
I can go and decide what I want.
Okay.
So have a test. I go to the
Okay.
properties. Okay, now
Mm-hmm.
I have an option to go for membership. Here I can say include, exclude, same thing. So direct also
Okay.
there. and this collection gets automatically refreshed every
7
7
days.
days. So
Okay.
any new member gets automatically updated after 7 days.
Okay.
If you want, it automatically updated, okay, uh, every 15 minutes, okay, you take
Okay.
this checkbox. This is called incremental. But
Okay.
again, like these checkboxes, you can take maximum 50. If you take more than 50, your server gets hung. That's a designing
Okay.
way. Okay,
Okay.
so don't take more
Okay.
than 50. Okay,
Okay.
so I created a collection, but this collection does not have any members. If you see, if I refresh,
Yes.
there's no member. I can right click, add resource. This is something new with the 2012. I can search what are the resources I want. Say example, I want DC. So this is going
Okay.
to be a direct membership now. If I refresh here,
Yeah.
okay,
Okay. Yeah.
if I refresh or
I
just the update collection
okay.
membership, okay, it should actually work with the refresh also. That one,
Okay.
it takes some time. So one
Yeah.
membership. If I go properties, it's a
Mhm.
direct actually. It created a type is direct.
Okay.
Okay, so let's have this collection. Now let me go to right click. Now deploy. So when you choose deploy, what would happen is you would decide what is the schedule you want to give. Okay, what time you want to deploy the software. Okay,
Okay.
so and what is the software you want to deploy? I want to deploy
Okay.
definitely the same software, the selected software. What is the program you want to choose? Per system attendant, unattended. So, unattended means user no need to press anything. Okay, per
Okay.
attendant means user interaction is there. Sometimes users have to, click on next or, progress, suppress or postpone. All those, comes into the interaction side.
Okay.
Okay, one for
Okay.
install we have, one for uninstall also we have.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
I'm choosing the one which is unattended. Next,
Mhm.
what is the collection you want? I want the test collection which I've created. I have
Okay.
only one machine, so this is a DP. Okay,
Uh-huh. Okay.
and this is the interesting thing. You want to make it as a required or you want to make it as a install. So install is I'll show you here. You have install, which is available mode. So that means it comes as for the end user here. Hey, you have a software as a pop-up. Okay, we'll talk
Okay.
more for you tomorrow morning. Okay,
Okay.
for me today evening. Okay, so here you get a pop-up. Okay, so the pop-up says that you have a software. If you want, you install it. Otherwise, ignore it like that.
Okay.
So you get only available mode. Okay, that
Okay.
means, say example, there is a Fair and Lovely advertisement in a TV. We may buy, we may not buy, right?
Yeah.
So because it's
Mhm.
available. Okay,
Yes.
but
Okay.
the government says that you have to vote as a mandatory, okay, as a
Okay.
public notice, then we would definitely take it,
Change.
right? That's nothing but required. So this
Okay.
becomes as a mandatory, okay,
Okay.
okay, and the
Mhm.
other option would be the only available
Okay.
mode.
Okay.
Okay, let's take the required. Okay, click
Mhm.
next. I'll talk on later. So what is the date you want? So it should be available from now and it should
Okay.
expire maybe 30th of this month. Okay, when they should run on immediate basis as soon as possible. Example, I have many
Okay.
options here, we'll explore later. Okay,
Okay.
um, click on next. And do you want all these, we'll talk all these. Say example, this is
Okay.
you want to know where it should available actually. Basically you can take
Okay.
these. Okay, we'll take it later.
Notification
We'll
setting.
we'll explain later. This is self-explanatory.
Okay.
Okay, we'll talk on that everything. So now the software got deployed. If you see here, the deployment complaints is 0. There is no mission got success, and it is a
Okay.
required state. And
Okay.
if you look at the schedule, so the schedule is from, for example, if I want I can change to 17th to 30th. Between this software should be
Okay.
installed. That is a past date to current date. Okay, and now
Okay.
actually the client will install that software from SCCM server, which takes
Mm-hmm.
1 hour,
One
right?
hour.
1 hour
Okay.
time. So the
Okay.
the policy time is, okay, the policy time
Mm.
to reach the client is 1 hour. Post 1 hour,
Okay.
the client will download and it gets installed. If you want to force it, you have an option. You can go to the assets and complaints, okay, select
Uh-huh.
the target machine or the
Okay.
collection and say client
Okay.
notifications. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
under client notifications, you have a download computer policy. We sent for a computer, not for a user, right?
Yes.
So,
Yes.
you can do that notification or go to the client machine, okay,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
under actions. In fact, you have a notification here, see,
Okay. Yeah.
right?
Download. Uh-huh.
So, so it
Got it.
says that, downloading available, then downloading, installation completed. In fact, it's
Okay.
done actually. Uh, what you can do is, if it is not coming, you can select this and say run now. That means the policy
Okay.
gets updated. If you go here,
Okay.
it's already deployed, so the trace and other toolkits will be available. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so these are the new things which are installed now as part of toolkit.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay. Yeah.
clear. So
Yeah.
now if I go to the software center, this is the software center, which is a client interface. We'll talk on tomorrow. Okay, you can see here the agent is the software got installed. If you want to reinstall, you have an option here, reinstall. Okay, software updates are available. Everything, everything will be available here. And we change this IT organization to maybe a Tata or Tata IT software or something like that. Okay, we do a lot of
Okay.
customizations. Okay, maybe tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
so tomorrow, we'll spend some time, a very good time. Okay,
Okay.
to go through
Okay.
most of the features. Okay,
Okay. Yeah. No problem.
okay. Hope this is fine with you,
Yeah. That's fine.
right? Okay. Any doubts from today or tomorrow class?
No.
You know all
Actually,
these
the
already?
first one. No, no, no. I know how they push the client PCs and all. I have an idea, but the one we did the first one manual, right? So I have a small doubts on that, so I have to revise another one. I have to look this class again and again. I will be
Oh,
clear very quick.
okay. There are a lot of parameters. Uh, so now, okay, now we have a lot of parameters. We can test many of the parameters if you're interested. It's all
Okay.
about your interest. That's it. How much you're cooperative and the interest shown. Based on that, I can teach you from scratch to
Yeah.
depth.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Chalo then. I would stop this machines.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
and we'll see tomorrow then.
Yeah, okay then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ping me if I
Yeah.
don't. If I forget. Just call me on a WhatsApp.
Sure. Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah. Thank you.